So, you just got a new Mac, or hey, maybe you have an older Mac that you want to learn how to use better. Well, you stumbled across the right video because in this video, I'm going to tell you some of the first settings you should change on your Mac and also go over some general tips and tricks on how to better use your Mac. And listen, I'm not doing a long preamble. I'm not giving you my life story. Don't you hate when tutorials do that? Let's get right into the video and start going over some of these settings you should change. So, you're going to be spending a lot of time in system preferences. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to system preferences. Now, you're going to look at this and you're going to go, hey, Greg, you have this all nicely categorized alphabetically. How did you do that? Because your system preferences probably looks like this, where all the categories are just scattered all around. And as a new Mac user, this can be very confusing. So you probably just saw it. All you have to do is go to View, Categorize, and organize it by alphabetically. Now, these settings are all alphabetical, and they're much easier to find. So if you need to find battery, it's right there, display right there, Touch ID, all that stuff, all alphabetical, super easy. And like I said, we're gonna be spending a lot of time in system preferences, so this is a good first tip to do. The next thing you might wanna do is to auto-hide your dock. If you're on a MacBook, you don't have that much display space, and this dock always showing takes up a fair bit of display space. So all you have to do is go to Dock and Menu Bar, and you will see right here in this setting, automatically hide and show the dock. Just click that, and look, the dock's away. And if you want it back, just move your mouse to the bottom of the screen and it automatically pops back up. So you get a little bit more extra display space that way. Another thing you might want to do is change the placement of your dock. Now, I like the dock on the bottom of macOS. I think if you change it, you're crazy, but it is an option, right? So you can either change that to the left side. So all you would do is just in the same area, click on left. Look at that, the dock is on the left. And you can change it to the right. All right, while we're still in this same dock and menu bar system preference area, another thing you might want to check off is to minimize windows into an application icon. Because by default, if you minimize an app, it goes to the bottom right. You minimize another one, it goes to the bottom right. Now this is fine, it's a good way to manage your apps, but if you're like me and you have a lot of apps open at once, you're constantly minimizing them to switch between them, the dock can get very cluttered. So what I like to do is I like to kind of change this setting over here and click on Minimize Windows into Application Icon. Now watch when I do this again. So I'm gonna minimize Safari, it goes right down into Safari. I'm gonna minimize the podcast app, goes right down the podcast app. If I want those windows back up, I just click on Safari, I click on the podcast app, so it's all organized right there in the app. I think that's a really helpful one. Now, you might also wanna do stuff with your menu bar as well. So you can also do some other things, like you can actually automatically hide and show the menu bar as well. So this will get rid of the menu bar, and you can see on newer Macs with a notch, this feature isn't as helpful because one of the things with the notch is you really can't put applications up here. They automatically go back down. So on newer Macs, I don't like to do this, but if you have an older Mac, this is another way where you can get some more display area. However, what I like to do on the menu bar with these newer Macs is to get rid of this, automatically hide and show the menu bar in full screen. Because if we go full screen in an app, you'll see that the top of it just completely blacks out. But if you move your mouse over, you can see all of the menu bar items. Well, again, we're not really using this space because of the notch area, so why not just show it all the time? So all you have to do, again, obviously, is just click this off, and then now when you go into a full screen app, once you see the menu bar, I think I have to do it again. Yeah, once you full screen this app, the menu bar is going to be always visible, and I prefer that on these Macs that have a notch. You're just using all that extra display area, and if it's not on, it just gives you that dark black bar at the top anyway. Optimizing display space on a smaller Mac is very important. So another thing you might want to do is go again to System Preferences, click on Displays, and then click on Scaled up here. And this will actually allow you to change the resolution of your Mac to give you more space. This is going to make everything appear a little bit smaller. So icons are going to appear smaller, your windows are going to appear smaller, text is going to appear smaller. But what that does is it actually gives you more space on your display to move items around. Another useful time-saving tip in macOS is to use hot corners, and this is very easy to activate. All you have to do is go over to Desktop and Screensaver in System Preferences, click on the Screensaver tab up here, and then go down here and click Hot Corners. Now, hot corners sounds exactly what they sound like, right? There are corners on the screen that you can activate. So by default, there's already a hot corner set up on newer versions of macOS, and that is moving the cursor to the bottom right, which will activate a quick note. I kind of like to keep it that way. I like having quick note as a feature, so just move your cursor to the bottom right, a little note window pops up, and you can quickly write down a note, which is very helpful, but you can customize these any way you want. So let's say in the top left, I want to lock the screen. On the top right, I want to activate Launchpad, and on the bottom left, I want to activate Notification Center. So let's move it to the bottom left. It's going to open up the Notification Center. If you move it to the top right, that's going to open up Launchpad. And if you move it to the top left, someone walked in, a spy. All right, you can quickly lock your screen that way. And that is very, very helpful. Again, you can customize these to different shortcuts as well. One last thing to do while you're in this dock and menu bar setting is to scroll down on the side over here till you get to battery, and also go ahead and change show percentage in the menu bar. By default, it doesn't show the percentage. Everyone's raving on the latest betas for iOS 16 because now you can get battery percentage back. Well, on Mac, you just got to go into the settings, change it, you get your battery percentage back. All right, let's move on to the next thing you should... Oh no! I ran out of storage! How am I going to continue this video?
Clean My Mac X.
Yes, that's right. Clean My Mac X is the first app you need to check out to get rid of unwanted files on your Mac. Let's go ahead and open it up because I need some space to continue this video. And look how easy it is to use with this nice assistant ready to go. Let's see if we can find any purgeable space. And look, it already detected 129 gigabytes of purgeable space on my drive. That is a huge amount of system junk on this 512 gigabyte drive, doing absolutely nothing. So let's purge that. Look at that, it wiped it all out automatically. Already got 129 gigabytes freed up on this Mac so we can continue this video. But before we do that, let me tell you, Clean My Mac X is more than just freeing up unwanted space. It also helps you manage your storage and files. It also helps you detect malware and viruses, and keeps your system routinely running like new with just the press of a button. So put your files in order, delete years worth of system junk and hidden files, and best of all, try it for free by clicking the link and use my special code GregsGadgets2022 for a special exclusive discount. And thank you so much to Clean My Mac X for sponsoring this video and helping me manage my Mac and continue doing this video. Now, if you're on a newer Mac with Apple Silicon, the battery life is great, but if you're on an older Intel model, you may not have the best battery life, or let's say you just want to maximize the battery life on your new M2 MacBook Air. Well, there's actually a way to do that with a macOS low power mode. Now, to activate this, you just got to go to System Preferences, again, go to Battery, and right here, you will see a low power mode on the Mac. Now, this doesn't automatically pop up like it would on your iPhone when you get to a lower battery percentage. You just have to manually activate it. And basically, this is going to change some settings around on your Mac. Right now, I just activated it. It dimmed my display. It's probably going to eliminate some background stuff as well. But based on some tests I've watched in other videos, this can actually extend your MacBook's battery life by as much as 2 additional hours. And the efficiency cores, especially on Apple Silicon Macs, are pretty strong. So this might actually be a nice little option for you if you want to extend your battery life. If you don't care about performance, you want to lower the fan noise on your Mac as well. If you have a Mac with a fan, this is supposed to lower fan noise. This might be the setting you might want to enable. Okay, if you're on a MacBook, you're definitely going to want to customize your trackpad settings. So again, go to System Preferences. You have it all alphabetically categorized, so go right down to trackpad. Very easy to find now, right? And there's a couple different settings you can change here. Now, some people like to do tap to click, where you don't have to tap on the track. Like, you don't actually have to press it. You can just kind of like tap it and it does a click. I don't like that, but that's an option for you. But what I do like to do sometimes is change how the secondary click is done. Now, I've gotten used to using 2 fingers to right click, but especially if you're coming from Windows, this is a gesture that you're not going to be used to. So if you're new to Mac and you like to right click by pressing the right side of the trackpad, well, you can change that. So click over here, and then you can change it to either the bottom right corner or the bottom left corner to right click. Obviously use the right corner. Who's using the left corner? That's insanity. So hit bottom right corner, and now every time you press the bottom right corner of your trackpad, you will activate a right click rather than using your 2 fingers. Again, this is just something, if you're coming from Windows, this is much easier to learn, much easier because you're so used to right clicking on Windows with using the right side. Another thing I like to change here is in the gesture settings. So go over to this tab for more gestures, and you're going to notice a lot of things are checked off. There's a lot of different shortcuts here that you can learn, but one of them that's disabled by default is something called App Expose. So go ahead and enable that. Now, what's great about App Exposés, as you can see on my screen, it's very cluttered. I have a bunch of different Safari windows open, and I need to find a different window. And look at it, it's all messy. I can't find it. So what you do now is you take your 3 fingers and you swipe down on the trackpad And all of the Safari windows are going to neatly categorize and organize themselves. And look, I could just find the window I was looking for. I was going to buy a new iPhone 13. And yeah, so you could just do that again. All the windows pop up. I like this feature a lot. I don't know why it's disabled by default. I find it very, very helpful. All right, let's get out of system preferences for a second, and let's show you how to use Spotlight. So to use Spotlight, there's a couple different ways. On some of the newer Macs, I believe you press F4 and the Spotlight search will come up. You can also just press Command and the spacebar, and Spotlight will pop up there as well. And of course, you can obviously search your Mac for things. So if I'm looking for photos, I can look for photos over here. If I'm looking for a certain file, screen recording, I can find all my screen recordings, right? So you could do all that stuff. But there's also some things you probably didn't know you could do. So you can actually do math in the Spotlight search. So let's say I want to do 20 times 40, 3,600. Look at that. I just did the math on Spotlight. You can minus that, 5,400. We could times that again. Look at this. We're doing math in Spotlight. So if you need, you don't need to open the calculator app on the Mac. You can just do this all in Spotlight. It's a lot easier to do. But listen, we were talking about how you can search for files and things in Spotlight. There might be some things that maybe you don't want popping up in a Spotlight search. So you can actually change what Spotlight has access to. So to do that, you're going to go to System Preferences again. You're going to click on Spotlight. And here you can see all the different search results. So you can actually disable these or enable them how you see fit if you don't want Spotlight searching for something. And for more privacy, you can click on the Privacy tab. And if you don't want like a folder or a disk drive or just anything, so you can prevent those from being in a Spotlight search, you just click this plus button over here and you would pick a folder. So let's go make a folder so we can show this. New folder. We're going to rename it to secret folder, don't look. And then we're going to hit the plus button. We have secret folder, don't look. We're going to choose that. And that's going to be added to the Spotlight search. So now when I go to do Spotlight, secret folder, don't look. And you can see it doesn't show up in the Spotlight search. So that's handy if you don't want certain folders being up in Spotlight. You don't want your taxes in Spotlight maybe. I don't know. Okay, let me show you how to better manage your desktop. So I always have a lot of stuff stored on the desktop. I think it's the easiest way to access things in macOS. And I constantly save a lot of screenshots, a lot of screen recordings, a lot of audio files and movie files to the desktop. And normally what you would probably do is you would double click it and it would open up a preview. But that's time wasting. What you can actually do on macOS is you can just click on this, hit the spacebar, and a little preview pops up. It's very quick, and you can do this for photos, you can do this for music or video files, you can do this for even PDFs where you just hit the spacebar and you get this nice little preview. So if you're constantly searching for something, you don't need to open it up every single time. You just hit the spacebar and you get that nice preview. It is very fast and very fluid to use it this way. Another thing you might want to do is to organize this better. Now, this is actually not that many files. On my other Macs where I've used them for a longer time, I've only had this MacBook Air for a month, I have so many files stored everywhere. But a better way to organize this is to use stacks. So by default, it's disorganized, but if we go into View and hit Use Stacks, that's gonna organize everything neatly and automatically. Now, if you watch my videos, you might notice a lot of the times I have a clean desktop. I don't want it to appear cluttered. Having a cluttered desktop, even with stacks, can be very distracting. Well, I can actually eliminate all that clutter or kind of hide it just by using an app. And this app is called Hidden Me. Now, this is a free app to download on macOS. So we're going to download the Hidden Me app. Then once you open up this app, you're going to see this little icon in your menu bar. You just click on that and then hit Hide Desktop Icons. And look at that, all the desktop icons that were here are completely gone. It removes all the clutter from your screen. And then when you want to show your desktop icons again, you just hit Hidden Me, hit Show Desktop Icons, and then they're all back there. Another thing you should be doing with your desktop is better organizing your folders by replacing the default folder icon. Again, you can stack up a lot of folders very quickly, and if they all look the same, they're kind of hard to spot at a glance. So what I like to do is I like to change the folder icon. To do that, just right-click on the folder, go to Get Info. Then you should have an image that you want to use. So for this one, we're going to use Vegeta over here. You can just go ahead and right click that and hit copy. And then what you do is you go to that area where we open up Get Info, click on this folder over here, hit edit, then hit paste. And that is going to swap the folder icon. And look at this, in the secret folder, don't look, we got Vegeta flying there. This is a PNG file too, so it has a transparent background. So you don't even have like a white background or anything. You just have Vegeta on your desktop. Look at this, he's flying around. Okay, another useful managing tip for macOS is to Command Tab. This is very simple. So to see all the active apps that you have open, all you have to do is hold Command, then hit Tab, and there you have a whole list of all the apps that are open. You just hit the tab to switch between them, and then you can actually quickly switch between each open application. So that is very helpful. Now, one thing I see a lot of new users to macOS doing is kind of quitting out of apps. Like, let's say you're working on your Mac, you open up a bunch of applications, and then at the end of the day, you're like, all right, I gotta close everything. Let me go ahead and hit this X, hit this X, hit this X over here. And you know what? That didn't even get rid of the apps, right? They're technically still open. These active dots on the bottom here means the app's still open. So then you got to go down here. You got to hold that down, hit quit. Hold this down, hit quit. Hold that down, hit quit. Yeah, it's very long and arduous. Is there a better way to quit out of applications, Greg? Yes, there is. All right, this is going to change your life if you didn't know about it already. So let's do that same process again, but this time using Command Q. So again, just like the Command Tab, all you have to do is hold down Command on your keyboard and then press Q. And look at that. That quits, that quits, that quits, that quits, that quits. And it closes them down like all the way. Like you don't have to go down here and hold this and quit Safari. It just quit the whole program. So tapping that red X on the top of those windows doesn't even completely eliminate the program, or the application, I should say. And using Command Q is just a faster way to do it and much easier. All right, you're new to macOS and you're probably spending a lot of time in your Finder because the Finder helps you find things. So if you need to look at your desktop, see a whole list of everything, go into your application, see a whole list of that. And if you're using Finder, you might start to rack up Finder windows pretty quickly. We got a couple open over here. Well, one thing you can do when you have a lot of Finder windows open is to actually merge them all together for a neater experience. And this is very easy to do. So all you're gonna do is go to Window, and then you're going to hit Merge All Windows, and all your Finder windows are going to be condensed into just one area with a lot of different tabs. All right, let's talk about widgets. Yes, widgets are on the Mac. Now you're probably looking at the Mac going, well, I don't see any widgets anywhere. Where are the widgets? Where are the widgets? Well, they're kind of hidden, right? So to activate widgets, you just go over here to the right side of the Mac, click on the time up here, and there you will see all of your widgets. And this kind of works similar to how it does on iOS or iPadOS, where you have a dedicated widget section. Now you can't place widgets directly on the home screen like you can on iOS, but you can edit the widgets here. So if you hit Edit Widgets, you get a whole list of all the different widgets that you can activate on your Mac. So let's say we wanted to add a podcast widget. Well, we can add it in small, medium, or large. And then all we have to do is hit this plus icon over here. That's gonna pop over to the widget section. And then if you wanna change the position, just drag and drop it. And you can place this right up top over here. And yeah, you can basically do that with all the different widgets. And it's a little bit of a handy feature. I like to use it for some things like the weather and time, and also for quickly resuming my podcasts. Now, if you are using Safari, one of the things you're going to want to do is to customize your Safari start page. So if you open up a new window in Safari, this is probably the first thing you're going to see. Now, by default, there's a lot of things listed here, and I've already kind of customized this. So for me, I just have my favorites, my frequently visited, and then a privacy report, which kind of lets Safari kind of tracks different things, and you can kind of see like how much you're being tracked on the web, which is kind of scary. But listen, Tom's Guide, a lot of trackers on Tom's Guide. Sorry, Tom. But you can customize this a lot. So if you click on the bottom right over here, you can get all the different customization options. So you can add shared with you can add your reading list, you can add your iCloud tabs, and then these will actually just pop up over here on the Safari start page. So you can customize this and kind of show what you want to see when you open up Safari. And another thing that I like to do is to customize this with the images. So on the bottom, there's a bunch of defaults here. So let's go ahead and scroll through a few. Is that a bear? That's a nice looking bear. What I like to do, obviously, is to add my own image. So to do that, just hit this plus button over here. It's gonna pop up probably like your desktop pictures. All you really have to do is take the picture you want, drag it over here into search. That's how I usually choose it. Hit choose. And then look at this. The Safari page is replaced with that picture. So every time you go to use Safari, you'll be greeted by whatever picture you want. Just recently saw the Dragon Ball superhero movie. I loved it. And yeah, I'm going to stick with this one for a while, even though it's really pixelated. Maybe I should have searched for a better image before demoing it in the video. Another thing you might want to do is, hey, you got a lot of tabs open in Safari, right? We're going to open up a ton of tabs here. We're going to go to 9 to 5 Mac. We're going to go to Daring Fireball. We're going to go to The Verge again. We're going to open up all the Apple sites right here, and we're even going to do a speed test. Well, what you can do is, if these tabs are becoming unmanageable, is you can organize them. So to organize these, all you have to do is go to Window and then arrange tabs by. Now you could do this by the title, so you can arrange it by the title, so that's going to organize it that way. Or you can arrange it by the website, and that will change it around too, so that all the different websites are next to each other. So if I have Verge open twice, both Verge tabs are going to be right next to each other. And then if I go ahead and arrange it by the title, that's just going to list it alphabetically. Well, but the Verge is still alphabetical. It doesn't really matter. All right, if you own a Mac, the likelihood is you probably own an iPhone as well. So let's talk about some tips that you can use if you have an iPhone. And one of those is actually the ability to AirPlay to your Mac. So this works just like any other way you would AirPlay something. So let's go to the Greg's Gadgets YouTube channel, the best YouTube channel in the world. Let's click on his latest video. Okay, that was a little trippy. Let's click on the AirPlay. And look at this. You're going to see a whole list of what's available on the AirPlay. And let's go ahead and hit MacBook Air. And once we do that and I hit play, look at that. Look at that. I took what was on my iPhone and I just AirPlayed it over to the Mac. And you can do this with videos and you can do this with music as well. This works really well on Macs that have good speakers. The MacBook Air speakers, it's okay. It's better than your iPhone speaker, but I really like to do this on like the new 24-inch iMac, the new Studio display, or even the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. The speakers in those are so good that if you're watching something on your iPhone, you quickly want to put it over on your Mac, you can do that very simply. Another thing you can do is to copy and paste. So let's go on our iPhone. Let's go ahead and just find some text on Mac Rumors. Let's go ahead and hold that down. We'll hit copy. Now I'm gonna go on my Mac, and you can right click to pull down the drop-down menu and hit paste. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna connect to my iPhone 13, and it's actually going to take what I copied on my iPhone and paste it right onto my Mac. And this works not only with text, but you can do it with photos and other things as well. So all you have to do is take a photo. We're gonna use this nice one of Luke Miani over here. We're gonna hold that down, and then we're gonna hit copy photo, and then we're gonna go on our Mac, and instead of doing the drop-down menu, we're just gonna hit Command V, and that is going to paste the photo from our iPhone right into this notes window. Luke Miani officially on a Greg's Gadgets video. What a lucky guy. What a lucky guy. It's a big day for you, Luke, big day. One final thing you can do with this continuity feature is to actually import a photo directly from the iPhone's camera. So to do this, again, let's right click on this notes field, and you'll see on the bottom, for your phone, it should pop up. There's a couple different options. There's take photo, scan a document, or add a sketch. You can do either or, but for this, we're just gonna take a photo. So hit take photo. On your phone, the camera app is going to open up, and then all you have to do is take a photo, and then it should pop up directly on the Mac. Look at that. That is so cool. I bet a lot of people don't know about that. You could literally just go right into the notes field, hit right click it, hit take photo with your iPhone, have it pop up right there. Such a time-saving feature, such a really cool feature that utilizes the technology between all of these devices. All right, the last tip is, if you have a new Apple Silicon Mac, it's how to erase all your content and settings. Now, don't laugh, because this is actually helpful. Eventually, you might be getting rid of this Mac, you might wanna sell it, and you're gonna wanna erase all your data off of it before you do that. So to do this, just open up System Preferences, where it all began, click on System Preferences, and this is very easy on Apple Silicon Macs. It used to be a lot harder. All you do is you go to this drop-down menu, hit Erase All Contents and Settings, It's going to obviously ask for your password. I'm going to enter my password, and as you can see, we can click on this and we can actually just completely wipe this Mac, get rid of all the data for either a user or just all the accounts on here, and that's going to wipe the Mac completely. And that means if you're going to sell this Mac in the future or just get rid of it and you want to get rid of all your data, this is the way to do it. So that is a very helpful tip. If you have to come back to this video, just remember it's at the end of the video, how to erase all of your content, all your settings on your Mac. So yes, hopefully you found this video helpful in starting to learn Mac OS. I threw a lot of settings you should change. I threw in a lot of tips and tricks. Kind of wanted to make this a kind of full-featured video, so I really hope you found it helpful. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more, maybe we'll probably do this when the new macOS operating system comes out in just a few more months. We'll probably go over even some more features. If you like this video, give me a like. And hey, thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, really appreciate you. If you did, let me know in the comments below what your favorite setting change was or your favorite tips and trick, whatever. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.